Hello, greetings. Again, I have something in my mouth. So please bear with me. Now I've been thinking of the Quran again. I checked in multilingual Quran, my Shia sources. Didn't say anything about that verse. In Surah Tawbah, verse 31, do not take your Lord's but Jesus Christ. This Allah, besides Allah, and Jesus Christ, Isa al-Masih, sorry, the way it is put. Because recently I went to Rob Christian's live stream on YouTube, and Isa was a derogatory word used by the Jews at that time for Jesus Christ. Muhammad copied that. That's what I learned. And so thinking of the gnosis, esoteric Quran, trying to find Ali is with the Quran and Quran is with Ali. Truth is with Ali and Ali is with the truth. So sorry about this voice fainting. These are my audios, simple and slow. Only the pure can touch it. Surah Waqia, verse. And maybe the other verse, ask those who know if you do not know. So I don't know where that verse is in the Quran. So Imam Ali's Najil Balagha I only read and sometimes skimmed through. Wars and letters and all. But I haven't read the other books. Maybe someone can tell me. Who will tell me? You see, this is the problem. So about the Quran ayats. So I called on Imam Ali many times, Imam Mahdi, to explain to me this verse in the Quran, that verse, Surah Azab, ayat 37. Why does Prophet Muhammad say to Zaid to keep his wife and fear God, Allah? Sorry if I use God for Allah. And all this, right? And himself, he feared the people in some way. I have explained the Shia side of it on my live stream Facebook. Then later on, didn't really make sense to me. It's all falling apart on me. And so I'm lost now. I think I should completely leave this religion for sure, never to come back to it. It's high time. Like, how would I understand? And maybe the Shias also got it wrong, because if only the pure can touch this. We thought wuzu, we do wuzu like the Sunnis do wuzu, and but ask those who know. So the Sunnis take their religious scholars or one of the most eligible, most knowledgeable. Don't know what their criteria is, but the Shias take it from their imams, Imam Ali and Bibi Fatima Zahra's, all are the children. Thereafter, after Imam Ali being the first Imam, according to the 12 Shias. So this is what we've done and got lost. Although in the multilingual Quran, Aqa Puya says, Mehdi Puya, that the next verse, he explains not to take false teachers and all for guidance. But this verse, again, lost to no awareness. don't know, they didn't explain it, that Jesus Christ with Allah can be, is taken as Lord, the verse says. So I use the word, phrase can be taken, but surely is he surely is taken as Lord. And what is this Arbab, Lord? So Akapuya is quiet on that. I checked in the multilingual Quran and then said he, in the next verse, he's not quiet. He says, go to this Surah Baqarah, ayat this. And I don't have the strength anymore. I have a block. Sorry, so I cannot do my research much. But this is where I am, so I'm sharing this on social media. I really don't have the heart even. Too much confusion. Listening to all those verses, someone really explained it well. Tried to knock sense in the Sunnis and the Muslims. If taking their hadiths, so they have a new offshoot or something of a sect, Barelvi, and so they try to, amend in this way this hadith. If there are all these ridiculous, terrible hadiths, and how, like, even one hadith says you can kill the dog or you can kill the animal you've had sex with, and kill that person who had sex with the animal. And another says this hadith, and another hadith says that. So I think the Brelvis, although they would accept it or not, that they tried to, they left this Ahl Sunnah also because of all these things. They could not join the Shias, and they've made their own in Pakistan. So to make sense out of the Quran, disregarding those hadiths. So, and cherry picking, of course, or, taking one verse of the Quran. I learned, if I can say this properly, so I really am worried to say things against the Barelvi sect. But it does show that they tried to, they came up saying that this is ridiculous, Ahl Sunnah, although they were from the Muslim Sunni sect or something. I don't know when this whole thing changed, but it seems to me, I'm not sure, it seems to me that they, some of the Sunni Muslims decided that this is not right, yes, and so we will have another way of cherry picking. Because the Quran itself doesn't have the whole hadiths. The whole this thing about the life of the Prophet Muhammad. So we have to go elsewhere. And so it's really, really confused. I mean, I'm so confused. It's very confusing. It's really confusing. And I think they tried, I'm not sure, but I think they tried the Sunni Muslims, so they had an offshoot from this Sunni Muslim. The Brelvi sect came out. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying. So it's really confusing. Yeah. And then how do you pray namaz? So they say if any hadith goes against the Quran, you don't take that hadith if it said. So you have to apply that. Where does it come from? The Quran. So you have to open the Quran, know it well. Ask those who know if you do not know. There's a verse there in the Quran. Then take everything that obey Allah and Allah's messenger and take what Allah gives you and His messenger gives you. So the Sunnis went that way, taking most of the hadiths, the Sahih hadiths, Bukhari from Bukhari and Muslim. Now who's going to decide? There's so much conflict and confusion. Like my mind went blank in this conflict and confusion. When I was listening yesterday on live stream to these Sunni Muslims, Brelvi sect and all. Sorry, sometimes I cannot pronounce that word properly. So my mind went blank. Like if there's someone who can tell us how to solve this conflict and these various ways of understanding the Quran. So I didn't have an answer for this. I just kept quiet in the ex-Muslim Sahil Bhai's live stream. I kept quiet. I went just blank. I was so confused. And it was so sad to see what's happened to the Muslims. And we are ardently desirous of that's also a verse in the Quran. It grieves him that we should fall into any trouble. Sorry, someone's come, I'm just going. Hello, yes, so let's see, maybe a genius, and maybe these geniuses, youngsters are coming up, brave, very great, greatly courageous to tell us that we should altogether leave Islam. Because my mind went so confused and blank. And maybe these geniuses, this is the only solution to leave Islam. It's a false religion. It's a cult. It keeps you hanging on for so long. I mean, if the literal meanings don't make sense in some of the verses of the Quran, then hanging on to those Gnostic verses, mystical verses, what's the use? Waiting for Imam Ali to show up, spiritually tell me in my dreams and explain and all this. Or Imam Mahdi to come up with the Quran now and explain, and he hasn't appeared. He's in occultation now, 12th Imam. Haven't got a proper answer, whole Qurans of verses properly explained by the Ismaili Imam even. Sorry to say this. But now I have to be brave enough and like this, very forward. So, Adam in ex-Sahil, oh sorry, ex-Muslim, ex-Muslim, Sahil Bhai's tried to, live stream, tried to explain. See, I'm trying to go fast with this. And eating some of my words, sorry. So, this is the anxiety, the madness, and all this. So, you see, someone has to explain. Okay, I have a slight headache. Anytime I might just, I don't want to pause or what. Let's see what happens, what I do, how far I carry on with this. Here, explaining to myself, and maybe it can help you, although very slow, my videos and my audio, my ways. Can we find someone to, if the ex-Muslims are telling us this cult has got us, or what is this really? Surah Waqia verse, only the pure can touch this. The Sunnis say wudu. We also said wudu. Do wudu. And all this to touch the Quran. But that's not purity, inner purity, piety. You will understand. But even some ayats are just left like that, without. See how? Sorry, excuse me. Oh, this is my Facebook. So they're left like, at least someone. This is. Do you think I'm like right about this? That someone, our imams should have explained it. But every Umayyad caliph was after the imams, killed him, martyred him. Do you think this is right when God has preserved the Quran? And then we say truth was killed the day, truth finished the day Imam Ali was martyred. Now who's going to give us? But the next Imam, Imam Hussein in Karbala, what was killed, what was martyred, but Islam, true Islam, lived on. So you see our Imams, one by one, the verses explain to us, because a lame person like us cannot, a common person cannot understand these verses. They're very confusing. Now mistranslations have happened. Their own religious scholars have tried to correct Surah Azab, Ayat, no, sorry, which one is it? Surah Tawbah, sorry. Did I say Surah Azab before? Surah Azab, Ayat 31. Sorry if I made a mistake, I correct myself. I have a headache and all this. I'm still wanting to bring this out haphazardly. So Surah Tawbah, Ayat 31. It clearly says to take Isa al-Masih, Ibn Maryam, Masih ibn Maryam as the Lord with God. But no, we didn't want to look at that. Then some of the Sunni Muslims have gone on saying, why do they take Lord Imam Ali? Mistranslating makes such a big difference that you could go after Shias saying that they are polytheists, they are the worst of creatures. They're even worse than the Jews and the Christians. So naturally, obviously, we'll be killed. Our Shias will be killed. Because then in the Quran it says, kill them. And which ayat does it say? I'm not a hafiz of the Quran, but putting in Surah Muhammad, I think, and Surah Tawbah also, like इनको साइड पे करके इनको अपना वो दिखाओ, अल्लाह का कलाम बताओ, whatever the kalam is, समझाओ, उन तक पहुंचाओ. या अल्लाह. So मैं तो दिमाग अभी काम नहीं कर रहा है. फिर भी मैं ये कर रही हूँ. I'm still doing this even though my mind's not working properly. तो अभी अगर सूरह तौबा की आयत में जाएंगे ना, जैसे हमें किसी ने YouTube पे थैंक गॉड समझाया कि ये देखें, फिर भी हम लोग oops, I'm going to Facebook. Sorry, that's my voice in the background. Done a live stream on Facebook last night. So you see this, what was the P-Fenders, Mr. Joe? Sorry, I've forgotten. Tried to explain to us that these ayats, Sam Shamon has tried to explain, Dr. Wood has tried to explain, so many others have tried to explain. But Abdullah Sami, ex-Muslims have tried to explain. Why is it that I'm still on this? कोई पागल ही है. I mean, have I gone insane? Hello, yeah, so the tragedy of Islam. हादसा tragedy होता है ना. I think I'm going to tragedy of Islam. Let's see, end my own life in this religion.